who shares a boundary with Uganda. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome my neighbors. My constituency actually borders Uganda in the slopes of Mount Elgon in the eastern part, and my community lives on both sides. Cheptegei, who is one of the champions in the long distance, is my uncle, so you can be able to relate on that. And I want to welcome you to Kenya. It's a beautiful country, it's a beautiful city, and hatuna matata hapa. Most of us are long-term, just like President Museveni is a long-term. So, karibu sana Kenya. Sande.
I will now call on the counterpart, the chairman of the counterpart committee in the House, none other than a veteran member also. Are you on your third term or second term? The Honorable Adan Yusuf, who chairs the similar committee in the National Assembly of Kenya. Proceed. Please give him the mic.
Where is the mic? Human Rivers. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I had a very nice session with the team this morning as a Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. We did exchange many issues, and there was many learning points from both sides. And I take this opportunity to again sincerely welcome them to Kenya, to Nairobi, and to the Parliament of Kenya. And I'm looking forward to working with them because we have a lot of issues that crisscross our borders, and we have communities that are in both sides. Like a member of my committee, Honorable Oku, in his community, Teso, there are only 2 MPs here, but there are 40 Teso MPs in Uganda. So we have a lot of things in common. Welcome to Kenya. Learn as much as you can, and we are ready for you all the time. Thank you so much.
The Honorable Kibagendi, you don't share a boundary with a border, but nonetheless, you insisted a lot, and you must have your heart also in Uganda. That gives you, now I give you an opportunity for you to.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll represent first-time members of Parliament. And I would like to also welcome the honorable members from Uganda. Honorable Speaker, these are freshly elected members of Parliament. They just came out of the elections, and that is probably why they've decided to visit Kenya. What I would like to mention to them is that Uganda football team has been a pain to us. But we want to tell you this time round we will meet hopefully in Dar es Salaam or Arusha, and we will thrash you and in every sport. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You are welcome. We have wonderful streets around this country. There is one called Koinange Street. There is Kimathi Street. So you're welcome to tour our country. Thank you.
Honorable, why do you insist so much? If you have an interest there, I hope you don't have another family in Uganda. Proceed. I'll take just 1 minute. We want to make progress.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to welcome colleagues from Uganda. Honorable Speaker, and I want to ask our chair, Mr. Aji, Honorable Speaker, as they interact also with the members of the coalition from Uganda, they see on how they can also work on a legislation, Honorable Speaker, especially the cross-border trade, because we have had issues in Migingo Island, and this is the 2 committees in the 2 parliaments of Kenya and Uganda on how they can bring our communities together, Honorable Speaker.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable Mogaka, I think Kibagendi has presented you very well. Order. Honorable members, I wish to introduce to you a delegation led by the son of an important, not important, very important, very, very important Kenyan, Dr. Nduchu Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Just like his father, the late Ngugi wa Thiong'o, an award-winning scholar, author. And the son is equally also an award-winning scholar and author, an executive director of the Ngugi wa Thiong'o Foundation. Dr. Nduchu is accompanied by 5 members of his family, who are in attendance to follow the proceedings of the House today. Honorable members, on my behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome them to observe the proceedings of the House. Where are they? Can the members of the family stand? Huh? They're in the public gallery. They should have been in the speaker's gallery. I don't know why that oversight was made. Can the camera focus on the public gallery on this very eminent and respected family? Huh? Honorable members, I'm sure the cameras will focus on them. Honorable members, order, honorable members, order. Honorable MP for Manyata, in the very least, I know you're a young man, and you probably do not know a lot of the history of this country, like many of you. When the name of Ngugi wa Thiong'o is mentioned, there has to be dead silence. Dead silence. That man taught Kenyans, fought for Kenyans, lived for Kenyans, studied and became one of the top scholars in the world. Has a history nobody else has. So in the very least, who is this MP who's... Syria Council, take a seat. I can forgive the young man, but not you. When we are talking about Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the late Dr. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, I want, again, one more time, Honorable MP for Kamukunji, who has a history, a serious history, among all these members of parliament, fighting alongside our late scholar. Yusuf Hassan, proceed. Nobody else shares that glory with you in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for introducing the Ngugi family in the Assembly this afternoon. I want also to welcome them back. They all live in the United States and they have come to visit us. And on Saturday, they launched the Ngugi wa Thiong'o Cultural and Arts Center in Limuru, a center that would work to preserve the work and the life history of Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And now they have come to visit us here in the chamber. And I want to say that Ngugi wa Thiong'o was a friend, he was a mentor, and a writer and a revolutionary figure who has played an important role in the liberation of this country, particularly in the second liberation of this country. So I want to say they're welcome. And we want to wish them well. Ngugi wa Thiong'o is not only a writer, he's known as a writer, but much of his work was political. He's a founder member of the December 12 movement. He's a founder member of Ukenya, a founder member of Mwakenya. These are the organizations that fought during the hard, difficult days, during the Moi Kanu regime dictatorship. And he needs to be respected, honored, and celebrated in this country. And we're sorry that he left us a year ago. And I want to once again welcome Ndushi, Njoki, Grace, and Nyambura to the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you so
Order,
much.
order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Nobody has, I don't think any of you has read any of the books. Has anybody read The River Between among these young MPs? Then why are you not silent? I'll give the honorable member for Dagoretti South and the honorable member for Nyamira West Mugrango to also put in but please, for God's sake, this kind of an occasion happens once probably in a lifetime, or once in a decade, or once in 10 years. Give the respect to the members of the family of the person who gave his life for us. Can I have silence while you're contributing? Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I must join you in welcoming the family of this very great Kenyan to the House of Parliament, a Kenyan who we memorize in the way that Honorable Yusuf Hassan has told us. Yusuf Hassan being himself a journalist and an author, I join him, myself as a practitioner in the arts industry, to say that the path that was cut by the great Ngugi wa Thiong'o is not only historic for the country, but it also positions Kenya as a literary giant in the world, because the gentleman who we celebrate as the great Ngugi wa Thiong'o was not only celebrated in his small hometown of Limuru, he was not only celebrated in Kenya or Africa, he has gone on to prove that this country can produce literally greats who can not only give very good philosophical guidance to life, but also guidance to those of us who are in leadership. Mr. Speaker, I had an opportunity as a young man to be a thespian. And the thespians of this country owe a great deal to the efforts of Ngugi wa Thiong'o when he was much younger. As a lecturer at the university, the man devised the outside theaters. When government reined in on publications and productions and locked these, what was seen as subversive art out of the formal theaters, Ngugi wa Thiong'o was innovative enough to not only stage the Kamirido plays outside in the swamps of Limuru, he also recruited young Kenyans who were not actors. The Kawaida Mamamboga, the Kawaida man in the village, was recruited into this show that would go, was a traveling theater, and would talk about those things that would not even be prosecuted in the August House that we sit in today. In those days, matters that were so viewed to be subversive to a level where it was seen as agitation using theater. So, Honorable Speaker, when we have this amazing delegation visiting Parliament, we feel extremely honored, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to honor this great man who brought us the river between, a grain of wheat, and even referenced my home county, my home constituency in his literature. And I want to say that while Ngugi wa Thiong'o may have physically departed from this world, what he has taught is for posterity, not just for Kenya, but actually for the world. Those of us who are in the arts, those of us who are in philosophy, those of us who are in leadership, those of us who are in politics, do owe a great thank you to the family of Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And I must add, Mr. Speaker, that there was also the big element of language, that Africa must determine what language and tongue we preserve going into the new world, knowing that you can never think in a foreign language and act locally. We must also find the place for our native languages, our national languages, even in the new context of the new world and the fourth industrial revolution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
MP for West Mugrango, followed by none other than Ruth Odinga. Where is Ruth Odinga? Yeah, you also come from a family that has such a powerful history. Yes, Mugrango, proceed. West Mugrango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to also posthumously celebrate Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. I welcome the family to the August House and thank Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o for putting Kenya in the world map of the African series writers. It was initially dominated by West Africa with Professor Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, but I must celebrate Ngugi wa Thiong'o for putting Kenya in the map. I also want to celebrate him for dropping his Jewish name, James, and decided that he will be known by his African names only. Besides the books the member for Dagoretti has referred to, we do remember that Professor Ngugi wrote other books called Homecoming and even wrote others in vernacular, Gainde and others. We celebrate Professor Ngugi for glorifying African languages. Above all, Mr. Speaker, I must say this, that it is regrettable that African regimes of the moment were intolerant whenever artists were writing about society. How I wish Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o was professing after the 2010 Constitution. He would not have needed to take any exile. He would not have needed to be a refugee elsewhere. But I really celebrate the current government that is tolerant and respecting rights of people to express themselves. Okay. How I wish the family took advantage of this environment and celebrate with Kenyans. You say what you want when you want, and you will be protected by the Constitution. I celebrate my professor of literature posthumously. Rest in peace, and may the family keep the spirit burning. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, where's Ruth Odinga? Does anybody remember when the late professor was released from detention?
Yes.
And he wrote the last book called Detained.
Yes.
Which year was that? 1978. Some of you are not born then. And even if you are born, you are hardly what? A toddler. Proceed.
To the family of Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Dr. Nduku Ngugi, Njoki wa Ngugi, Grace Gathungu, and Nyambura, please let me posthumously be able to celebrate with you Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and this is on behalf of the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga family, who have been very great friends with the Ngugi wa Thiong'o family. It is very great for me to see when we see our families come to celebrate their parents and ensure that their flame keeps on living on. For me, Ngugi wa Thiong'o is one of the people who inspired me in life and actually shaped my career in politics. And that was as early as when I was in school. I was one of the people who did The River Between, also No Longer Teased by Achebe. And so I have a very good background. Not only that, I also lived with Ngugi wa Thiong'o when he came into exile, with the time in Norway, with the likes of Koigi wa Mwere and Wangondu, Kamau, Kariuki wa Wangondu, we were all living in Norway. I would like to say that the professor was a very simple man who lived very well with us and really taught us a lot, especially on what we talk about on freedom and celebrating the Kenyans and allowing us, because I remember when I was even doing The River Between, we were in a school like Kenya High, where only names like Ruth and Mary and the Christians' names were there, and he made us, he Africanized us to make sure that even places like Kenya High, we could now talk in our own vernaculars and be proud of our own selves as Kenyans. Thank you. Let me just finish by saying I really celebrate Ngugi, and I hope that Kenya that we have today could have the freedom people like Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Jaramogi, what they fought for to make Kenya what it is. Thank you, and God bless.
And the last one bite on this is Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we were just consulting Honorable Mukunji here. And of the view that possibly we should now be offering apologies on behalf of successive governments,
Yes.
right from Jomo Kenyatta
Yes.
to Arap Moi and the successive ones, for actually having sent and kept Ngugi wa Thiong'o in prison.
In detention.
Sorry, in exile. First in detention, then after that in exile. We may not know the reasons, but there comes a time we have to bite the bullet and do what is right, which is to tender an apology to that family and to the professor posthumously. I am not a student of literature, but I'm a student of history. So I know how Professor, when he was a young boy, went to Makerere University to study economics, not literature. And while he was there, he actually met some youngster who could speak a language like him, his Kikuyu native language. And he thought that was actually a fellow student in the university. However, when he went to the economics class, the young man was actually a lecturer, and it was no other than the late Mwai Kibaki. When he was taught to write an essay on market day economics so that he would assess him, he wrote an essay. Mwai Kibaki read it, and he told him, I doubt whether you can do economics. You are best suited to do literature, grammar, and English. And that is how he switched classes from economics to literature. And he became one of the most prolific writers in this country, whom we celebrate not just in Kenya, in Africa, but world over. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and I welcome the family that is here.
1 minute for the Honorable Sene, only 1 minute. You insisting, like, go ahead, only 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In Islam, there is a saying that the ink of a scholar is more holier than the blood of a martyr.
Yeah.
It is a disputed saying of the Prophet, but still it carries a very deep knowledge. The sharing, the writing, the reading of knowledge is widely spread. Ngugi wa Thiong'o and the presence of his son here actually reminds us of his immense contribution to the scholarly discourse, literature in this country. I'm sure he is a model for many to emulate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I'm going to do something I have not done in this House before. I will use the discretion, order honorable members, I'll use the discretion to call upon all of you to stand up for a minute of silence in honor of our late departed Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. You may be seated now. Honorable members, I will recognize the presence of students in the I don't see them. In the public gallery, students from St. Joseph Herman Mary Junior Secondary School, Kisauni, students from Wiltam Memorial School, Kiminini, Trans Nzoia, and students from Presbyterian Academy, Pwani, Mvita. There were also students who were in the Speakers Gallery from Kokwao Primary School, Primary and Junior School, Nyambunu Academy, and Wema Hockey School in Bondo. I'll give an opportunity to just one member from Manyata to say a word of encouragement, and Kipsanai. Where is Kipsanai?
Thank you.
Is Kipsanai here? It's gone. Okay. Yep.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I also rise as I welcome the students to this house. Honorable Speaker, I want to start by also putting a word for Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o and propose to this house to think of doing a mausoleum for Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, because we honor political leaders. We also need to honor leaders of other areas. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to recognize a school called Ronganga Primary School, Honorable Speaker. And the head teacher of that school, Honorable Speaker, is my father-in-law. You know? And Honorable Speaker, is a school that is in my constituency and a school that has produced a number of excellent people and leaders in business in this nation. Honorable Speaker, I want to honor my father-in-law, Mr. Geshovi, for teaching, and now he's almost retiring next year. Him and the wife have taught for more than 40 years, Honorable Speaker. And as we honor other teachers, let us celebrate the ones that have actually done a good job to get all of us where we are. Honorable Speaker, this house has a standard of really looking up for teachers. We have stood with the teachers when they were delayed in the payments for their marking of exams. We stood with them. Honorable Speaker, we have to continue doing that and doing more. Honorable Speaker, we are the watchful people to protect the learners and the teachers of our nation. So, Honorable Speaker, we can be able to improve our education. I welcome the student. Let them see that they can get somewhere. We came from those small schools, humble schools, Honorable Speaker. We are here today. And I want to encourage all students to dream bigger, to even lead this nation as we move on. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Kipsanai, except mausoleums are places where you preserve bodies. You don't construct a mausoleum in honor of somebody who has already been buried. Mausoleum is like what we have for Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta here. But then you can say, I found, a library in honor. There are many things that we can use to honor our departed Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Proceed, Kipsanai. Just 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As we continue to honor the Icon and author of our country, I also want to take this opportunity to welcome a school from my constituency, that is Kokwao Primary School in Emsa Ward, one of the good schools in our region, and also other students from the other parts of the country. I want to tell them that welcome to this August House, where rules and laws of this country are made. And as they go back home, they must pay much attention into their studies so that they can be good ambassadors, so that they can be good citizens who can serve the nation in the future. I also want to extend my appreciation to the teachers for continuously supporting our children in ensuring that they impart knowledge to them. And also, I don't want to forget the parents for tirelessly paying their school and ensuring that the students are in school. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, Parliament will also be remembered as one of the areas where students from all parts of the country come here, learn many things, and so forth and so on. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Naomi Wako, and then followed by the Honorable Kena.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, 13th August 2026. Number 1, legal notice number 133 of 2026 relating to the Virtual Asset Service Providers Regulations 2026, explanatory memorandum and report on public participation undertaken during the development of regulations from National Treasury. Number 2, legal notice number 135 of 2026 relating to the public finance management, e-citizen system management regulations 2026 from the National Treasury. Number 3, Parliamentary Service Commission annual report for the financial year 2024-2025. And number 4, reports of the Auditor General and financial statement for the years ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following. Number 1, St. Angela's Ngudiri Girls Secondary School. 2, Olo Sircon Mixed Secondary School. 3, Dulumini Public Secondary School. 4, Parklands Area Girls Secondary School. 5, St. Teresa Girls Secondary School, Nairobi. 6, Kidunguri High School. 7, Kinjo Girls Secondary School. 8, Ruth Kiptui Girls High School, Kasok. 9, Oldekesei Mixed Secondary School. 10, St. Augustine's Milimani Secondary School. 11, Kaptola Friends Secondary School. And 12, Friends Bukembe Boys High School. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Honorable Kenan.
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today. Thursday, 13 August 2026, the report of the official visit to the Republic of Turkey by the members of the Kenya-Turkey Parliamentary Friendship Group on 20th to 24th October 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Where is the chairman of the Agricultural Committee, Mutunga? I thought you had some report to lay. Proceed. Huh? 2 reports, I'm told.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House. Today, Wednesday, 12th of August 2026. No, today is 13th of August 2026. This is the report of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on its consideration of the ratification of the Inter-African Coffee Organization New Agreement 2020. First, Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, 13th of August 2026. This is the report of the regional seminar of the African parliamentarians for climate action, reducing methane and promoting development, held in Nairobi, Kenya, from 14th of May to 18th of May 2026.
Two reports to lay. 2 reports. He has done the 2 reports. Okay, Honorable Murugara, you have a report to lay. But let's go. Let's go in order, please. Let's go in order. The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. Public Accounts Committee. Proceed and lay your papers. You have a report of the Public Accounts Committee which you have to lay.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 13th August 2026. Report of the Public Accounts Committee, report on procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2025, 2026, 2026, 2027, and 2027, 2028. Thank you very much.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance. Finance. Huh? Okay. Chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs, proceed, Honorable Murugara.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 13th August 2026. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on the consideration of the Power of Mercy Bill, National Assembly Bill number 56 of 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, you have a report to lay.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 12th August 2026. The report of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on Employment Diversity Audit in various public institutions. Thank you.
Notices of motion. The Honorable Chair of the Committee. Order. Okay.
Order number
next
6.
Next order.
Notices of motion.
Proceed, Honorable Mutunga.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House notes the report of the regional seminar on the African Parliaments for Climate Action on reducing methane and promoting development held in Nairobi, Kenya from 14th to 18th of May 2026, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, the 13th of August 2026. Further, Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House notes the report of the regional... That this House... I beg to lay the following... No, it's not to lay.
Give a notice of motion.
Notice of motion.
Can you assist the Honorable Mutunga? Dr. Mutunga.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I have the...
Okay, let me go to the next person. You sort yourself out. You have something to... A notice of motion on coffee to lay.
To report.
Yeah, Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee. Public Accounts Committee, Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2025, 2026, 2026, 2027, and 2027, 2028, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 13th August 2026. Thank you very much.
Is the MP for Matungulu in the House? Matungulu MP is not in the House. Is it Matungu? You put in Matungulu. Matungu. MP for Matungu. Yeah, proceed and give you a notice of motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion. National sensitization and support for combating sickle cell and hemophilia diseases. That aware that Article 43, Section 1 of the Constitution entitles every person to the right to the highest attainable standards of health, which includes the right to health care services. Further aware that every year an estimated 14,000 children born in Kenya suffer from sickle cell and hemophilia diseases, with the highest prevalence rate being within Western, Nyanza, coastal regions. Concerned that failure to undertake sickle cell and hemophilia screening at birth hinders timely administration of appropriate treatment and other mitigation measures to forestall high infant mortality caused by preventable diseases like malaria and others. Cognizant that national population surveys does not include data on sickle cell and hemophilia diseases, concerned that the dearth of data and the lack of data and information negatively hinders prioritization of resources and implementation of sickle cell disease management programs, recognizing that the number of infant deaths caused by the disease continues to grow as a result of underfunding due to lack of data on the number of cases of the killer disease. Now, therefore, this House resolves that the national government, through the Ministry of Health and in conjunction with the county governments, conducts awareness and sensitization programs on sickle cell and hemophilia diseases and supports research and training for medical personnel on the two diseases. B, puts in place measures for mandatory screening of newborns, sickle cell and hemophilia diseases in all public health facilities in the country in order to create a database to guide funding and other interventions aimed at curbing the disease and reducing infant mortalities resulting from the disease. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I would like for your information, I would like to say that this is the second time I am actually giving notice of this motion. The last time I gave notice, it did not see the light of day before the session expired. So I would like to ask Speaker, maybe through you, this motion to be given priority considering the weight.
I direct that this motion be given priority.
Thank
and
you.
To be listed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
To be listed on an appropriate day, as soon as possible, because the matter itself is a very serious matter. Sickle cell anemia, hemophilia are big problems in the country, and the earlier we deal with it and discuss it and deliberate on it on the floor of the House itself, by none other than the legislators of this country, the better. The Honorable Adan Yusuf, give the notice of motion, and then I come back to the Dr. Mtunga.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of motion of the following motion, that the House adopts the report of the Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on employment diversity and audit of public institutions laid on the table of the House on Thursday, the 13th of August, 2026. Thank you.
The Honorable Dr. Mtunga, you have a notice of motion on a coffee matter, on a coffee report.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts a report of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on the ratification of the Inter-African Coffee Organization, or IACO, New Agreement 2020, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 13th of August, 2026.
Fair enough. I will go back to schools again. Honorable members, in the Speaker's Gallery, we have Serve Progressive Academy from Sabatia in Vihiga. We also have Kwakakulu Primary and Junior Secondary School, Kibwezi West, Makweni. In the Public Gallery, we have Shikamana Education Center, Msambweni, Kwale. Mother Kevin School, Nakuru West, Nakuru. And Safa School, Garissa Township, Garissa. I'll give an opportunity to the last one, the MP for Garissa Township, who is on the floor of the House, who is in the House now, to proceed and give words of encouragement to the young learners from your constituency.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. And on behalf of Parliament and the House, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all the students who visited the House today and ask them to take this opportunity as they engage among themselves and see what is going on in the House. a house where their future, their present and their future is decided or shaped. And as they go back to their respective areas, may I wish them safe travels back home, and may they enjoy their stay here in Nairobi and their visit to the House of Honorable Members. And they should endeavor also to be part of the leaders of the future leaders of this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Do we have an honorable member from Kwale in the House now? Mombasa. Endelea mheshimiwa.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchukua fursa hii kuweza kuwakaribisha watoto wote wa shule ambao wamekuja katika bunge hili, especially wale ambao wametoka Kwale, nimewaona pale, mimi ni mama wenu wa Mombasa, lakini nipende pia kusema na wapa nguvu na imani kuwa haya ambayo mnaona yakizingatiwa na kuzungumzwa ndani ya bunge hili ndio sheria inayotungwa kuangalia kuwa shuleni mmepata masomo mazuri, walimu wanapata mishahara yao vizuri na kila kitu kinaenda vizuri katika taifa. Kwa hiyo ni wakati mwafaka kusoma sheria za tungwa vipi, mazungumzo yafanywa vipi katika mijadala yenu katika shule. Wale ambao wanaweza kujikokoteza kwenye mijadala kama hii, huenda siku moja mkajipata katika mabunge haya. Na pia niweze kuwashukuru walimu wote ambao wameweza kuandamana na hawa watoto kuhakikisha mnawalinda, na niwaombeni Mwenyezi Mungu niseme elimu ndio uti wa mgongo wa maisha. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Do we have any MP from Vihiga? Vihiga? Who is from Kakamega? Wangwe. Wangwe, take 2 minutes and then we go to the next order.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to say that Kakamega is part of the larger Western and Vihiga is part of Kakamega as a larger Western province, Honorable Speaker.
Used to be.
Allow me to really appreciate you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to invite these little ones from Vihiga, that this is the house which everyone aspires to come in, everyone, including yourself. The destination of your journey in life is this house, Honorable Speaker, so that you grow up into the better leadership of the house and better leadership of this country, Honorable Speaker. And we wish you well and encourage this House, Honorable Speaker, that let us make good laws that will empower our children to prosper academically and compete in the world. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I welcome you to the House of Parliament.
Yes, the honorable member from Nakuru. Proceed. Just take 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Did I hear you mention Mother Kevin from Nakuru Town West?
Yes.
Nichukue nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Spika kuwakaribisha wanafunzi wa shule ya Mother Kevin pamoja na walimu. Karibuni sana hapa bungeni, muweze na mjihisi na muweze kujua hapa ndio jumba ambalo zinatengeza sheria na mambo mengi, hasa maneno ya mambo ya elimu. Kwa hivyo nichukue nafasi hii kuwatakia kila raheli wakati mko hapa bungeni na Nairobi kwa jumla, na niwatakie mambo mazuri mnaporudi nyumbani. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
I take the discretion of rearranging the order paper today, and we go to order number 8 and 9 before we go to order number 7, because these ones are just the questions. So, next order.
Order number 8, motion. Report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024. Question to be put on third reading.
Honorable members. Honorable members, I now put the question. That this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024. Will those men after opinion say aye? Aye. Will those men after opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The mover? Where is the mover? Mayaka, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024, be now read a third time. I also request the Honorable Zamzam to second. I thank you.
I can see Honorable Zamzam has seconded. Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024 be now read a third time. You want me to put the question? Honorable members, I now put the question that the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2024 be now read a third time. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Kenya Roads Act and for connected purposes. Order number 9, motion, report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Gold Processing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2023. Question to be put and third reading.
Honorable members, I now put the question. That this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Gold Processing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2023. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover, where's the mover? He's here. Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Gold Processing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2023 be read a third time. I also request Honorable Emmanuel Wange, MP Navakholo, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Gold Processing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2023 be now read a third time. Honorable members, I now put the question that the Gold Processing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 46 of 2023 be now read a third time. Will as many of the parents say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary parents say nay? Nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the establishment, composition, functions, and management of the Gold Processing Corporation, provide for the application, cancellation, and renewal of a gold processing license, and for connected purposes. Order number 7, questions and statements.
The Honorable Stephen Mogaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to request for a statement regarding rising incidents of political violence and insecurity across the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the rising incidents of political violence and insecurity across the country, and particularly in my Nyamira County. Honorable Speaker, the country has recently experienced an alarming increase in incidents of violence between rival political factions during public gatherings, particularly during funeral ceremonies, which are traditionally regarded as very solemn occasions for families and communities to mourn and accord their departed loved ones a dignified send-off. Regrettably, Mr. Speaker, these occasions have increasingly been disrupted by organized goons, resulting in chaos, destruction of property, fatalities, injuries, and heightened insecurity. On 25th June 2026, Mr. Speaker, for instance, a seemingly organized group of unknown origin disrupted a funeral ceremony at Indereti in Bomachoge Borabu constituency. Similarly, on the 5th of July 2026, another funeral gathering for Mama Jemima Mokogi, my own aunt, conducted at Nyamira Comprehensive School in West Mugrango constituency was disrupted. By an organized group led by political failures, causing panic and disorder. More recently, Mr. Speaker, on the 24th July 2026, yet another funeral gathering was violently disrupted by another unknown organized group. Not to mention, Mr. Speaker, that earlier on, a funeral of 24 deaths arising out of a road accident was disrupted at Rangenyo in my own constituency, just like another funeral for a wife of Pastor Sami Ongondo was disrupted at Gianchore by organized goons. These recurring incidents, Mr. Speaker, have denied bereaved families the opportunity to mourn in dignity. It has exposed mourners to fear and possible physical harm, and it has undermined the very constitutional rights to security, peaceful assembly, and freedom of association that are fundamental rights under our 2010 Constitution. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Number one, the measures being taken by our government to curb the rising incidents of political violence and insecurity, particularly the disruption of funeral ceremonies and other lawful public gatherings across the country. Number two, the status of investigations into the recent incidents in Nyamira County, one of which I personally recorded as an OB, particularly the disruption of funeral gatherings in Bomachoge Borabu and my West Mugrango constituency. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, what steps are being taken to put in place to strengthen police presence and ensure adequate security during funeral ceremonies, political meetings, and other lawful public gatherings in order to safeguard public safety and protect constitutional rights? Mr. Speaker, I hope as an Adventist, during these camp meetings ongoing, these goons do not extend their tentacles there, and it is on that note, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this request.
Who is the chair? The vice chair is the Honorable Russell.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what Honorable Stephen has presented to the House is loud and clear. The committee will attempt to respond in 2 weeks, but I want to say as follows, Honorable Speaker. The issue of goons and disturbance in meetings, in weddings, in burials, I think is getting pitched every day. And most of it is politically instigated. We cannot wish it away. We cannot look away and blame the police. The IG has been expressing himself to that, and the minister was to come before the committee to actually respond to all those issues that is related to goonism and disturbance of meetings that are lawfully constituted. Honorable Speaker, to be fair to what Honorable Stephen has presented, what is happening actually with goonism is unconstitutional. It is denying people the right of assembly, to families the right of decent burial. So for that reason, Honorable Speaker, we will push the ministry to respond in 2 weeks. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Fair enough. Response in 2 weeks. The Honorable MP Beatrice Kemei on the burden of cancer in the country and measures to enhance treatment and access to cancer care. Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. And request for a statement regarding the growing burden of cancer in Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding the growing burden of cancer in Kenya and the need to strengthen prevention, early detection, treatment and access to cancer care, especially in Kericho County. Honorable Speaker, cancer remains one of the leading causes of death globally. The World Health Organization estimates that cancer causes nearly 10 million deaths every year, accounting for almost 1 in every 6 deaths worldwide. In Kenya, the burden of cancer remains significant. According to the latest estimates reported by the National Cancer Institute of Kenya, approximately 35,867 new cancer cases and 22,888 cancer deaths occur annually. Breast, cervical, prostate, and colorectal cancers are among the cancers contributing significantly to the national burden. Honorable Speaker, the burden of cancer is compounded by late diagnosis, limited access to screening and diagnostic services, the high cost of treatment, and inadequate access to specialized cancer care. These challenges are more pronounced for people living in rural and underserved areas who may have to travel long distances to access cancer services. Of particular concern is the availability of reliable county-level data. While national statistics provide an indication of the overall burden, reliable and publicly reported figures on cancer deaths, especially attributable to Kericho County, remains limited. This presents a challenge in determining the actual level of need and planning for appropriate cancer prevention, screening, treatment, and palliative care services within the county. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1, measures being taken by the Ministry of Health to strengthen cancer prevention, screening, and early detection services in Kericho County, particularly for breast, cervical, prostate, and other prevalent cancers. 2, availability and reliability of county-level cancer data for Kericho County, including data on cancer incidence, mortality, diagnosis, treatment, and survival, and measures being taken to strengthen cancer registration and reporting. 3, measures being implemented to improve access to affordable and timely cancer diagnosis and treatment in Kericho County, including chemotherapy, radiotherapy, surgery, essential medicines, and palliative care. Lastly, resources allocated to Kericho County for cancer control, including specialized health personnel, diagnostic and treatment equipment, screening programs, and funding, and measures to address late diagnosis, and reduce cancer-related deaths. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chair, Health, Professor Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We'll give a report on this in about 3 weeks. Mr. Speaker, this will need a more detailed look into cancer. We've actually done a similar one, but for the whole country. But this is county specific. So I think we'll need a little more time. We give it 3 weeks, Mr. Speaker.
2 weeks?
3.
Why 3?
Because you're going into the details for a county. So you really have to send people down to that county.
Ordinarily, these are statistics, you can have them just through a phone call. I mean, statistics.
I'm aware,
Yes.
because we actually gave a report about a month ago on the national cancer
So you
status.
disaggregate that so that you put it on a county level.
Quite often, if you just do that, you actually miss it out. It's better to actually have specific. But if you just want to segregate the data, that is easy. We can do that in 2
do
weeks.
a thorough job, but I'm giving you 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is
Thank you,
sufficient.
Mr.
That's
Speaker.
it. Yeah. Yes, Daoud.
Speaker, I join Honorable Kimei. I brought a cancer bill, but her figure is slightly wrong. It's not 25,000, it's over 40,000 deaths in Kenya from cancer. So, Mr. Speaker, when she thinks Kericho is high, I think Meru is even higher than Kericho. So, would it be possible, because I know each and every county has got an issue with cancer, would it be possible for the chairman to arrange a Kamkunji where we get report for each and every county how we are managing the cancer issue in this country? Because it is very badly done and we need proper information on it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Sane, and then Honorable Izal Letipila. Yeah, the MP for Pokot.
Mr. Speaker.
Kachaliba, am I right?
Yes, Kachaliba, yes. Mr. Speaker, on the 9th of April, this year, 2026, I stood in this house, Mr. Speaker, and I sought for answers and clarifications from the chairperson Department of Education in regarding to the delayed promotion of teachers in Kachaliba constituency. Mr. Speaker, it has taken 5 months. Up to today, I have not gotten those answers, Mr. Speaker. I am worried if the teachers that I represent will get justice. Mr. Speaker, can you intervene?
The Honorable MP for Kachaliba, I will give you an opportunity to raise the same, and I promise you I will do whatever is in my authority as a chair here to demand for the answer for that, but let's exhaust the health issue. Yes, the Honorable Sane, is it on health? Is it on cancer and health?
Mr. Speaker, 2 years ago, I did raise a statement for the removal of asbestos as roofing materials in Kenya. The matter was further taken by the cabinet, and they did authorize the removal of asbestos as roofing materials within 6 months. As we speak, nothing has been done about asbestos, and I do appreciate my colleague, Honorable Kime, on the fact that it will be a mockery in prevention of cancer when carcinogens are abound, when our environmental health is not at the standard so required and required of as espoused in the Constitution. So really, if statements from this House are not implemented, if cabinet approvals are not actioned, it is a repeat of my statement 2 years ago. Are we seriously handling cancer as a disease when it is a killer disease?
Fair enough.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Mogaka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It's on cancer, yeah?
And it's on cancer.
On the same
and
issue.
On the same topic, Mr. Speaker, I thank Honorable Kemei for raising this issue, and Honorable Kemei's county neighbors Nyamira County. So her problems in Kericho County extend to Nyamira County. I am begging that when the chair of the departmental committee renders a report on Kericho, he goes a step further and also includes Nyamira County so that we are working together on the same path. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable, yes, Madam Naomi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to congratulate Honorable Kemei for coming up with this statement that is affecting the entire nation. And as the chair prepares the report for Kericho, I would want to also add my request because Marsabit is one of the counties that is highly affected, and we have even young people as the age of 6 months, 3 years, you know, less than 18 also suffering from that, and especially women have suffered a lot. So can Marsabit County be also considered? Thank you.
The Honorable Aden, be brief.
Okay. Thank you, Speaker, for this opportunity. And I sincerely thank Honorable Kemei for bringing this issue. This is a nationwide problem, and it is a serious killer. These days we hear that so-and-so died of what? Cancer. Yesterday so-and-so died of what? Cancer. Almost 40%, 50% of deaths in the country are now cancer. And honestly, we are not taking this issue very seriously as it deserves. Because if the cabinet passed that all asbestos roofing materials should be removed from this country more than 6 months ago, and no action is being taken, this is a very serious issue. The other issue is that we should, as a country, look at the root cause of these cancers and go out there to start prevention, because treatment has failed, and where it is available, it is so expensive that ordinary people cannot afford at all. And therefore, I support this, and I hope the chairman of Health Committee is hearing us well. This is a nationwide issue. We want a report that can satisfy us all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, MP for Dr. Proceed, Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, we all agree this problem is a countrywide problem. It's not unique to Kericho, it's not unique to any county. And I think, honorable members, what we need to do, because we are the people who allocated the resources, can we make a resolution as a house that from the next budget, we provide enough resources to address issues related to cancer? If we do that, we'll have no reason to start lamenting here that this is not happening, so long as we set aside enough resources. And I think we have the power to do that. So even as the chair presents this report, because I've had the chair many times, Honorable Speaker, pleading with this house to give him more resources. And we are the same people who say we don't have enough resources. Let's just make a resolution. We provide enough resources for cancer treatment, even as we talk about the other support we are providing to all the other diseases. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Take one more sentiment from KJ and then the MP for Garissa and Pukose, then Mutunga, and then, but just take a minute each to build on this so that I hope Nikal is taking note of all this.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I just wanted to ask that your seat is in a place to ask the Health Committee to expand the scope of this investigation to be slightly bigger, to address two very key issues. One, the issue in the area where you come from, Honorable Speaker, has a historical tie to the causes that are, to the issues that are making cancer more prevalent in Northeastern Province, up to and including the dumping of radioactive material in the Moi era, in the Moi era,
Absolutely.
that is now mushrooming into this cancer prevalence all the way down to Eastern Province and even Meru. The second issue, Mr. Speaker, is exactly what the Honorable Dr. Makali has said, that this is not a house of lamentations, Mr. Speaker, that this house will have to move to allay the fears of Kenyans by going out and giving great proposals that would see the stop of cancer not only through medicine, but also all other alternative means that are available, because when we limit ourselves to medicine, we lack the knowledge that the Africans may have had, or other alternative medicine models that would help Kenya address this cancer issue beyond just investing in health alone. Preventive measures, Mr. Speaker, nutritional issues, and all these other lifestyle matters that go beyond health. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, MP for Garissa.
Well, thank you, Honourable Speaker.
I
want to write on the same
there's
issue.
a pattern that's building up in here. I can see a serious pattern. One is the dumping of the toxic waste in certain parts of the country, radioactive waste. The other one, I think, most likely has a lot to do with the kind of pesticides that we use in our cash crop areas, in where we have tea, coffee, miraa. So maybe you need to do a very powerful scientific research. Yeah, proceed.
Honourable Speaker, the same issue was raised by the Honourable Member of Parliament from Wajir South on the dumping of radioactive materials in the northern part of this country. And the direction was given by the Speaker to one of the committees to start some investigations and visit the area, but that never happened and materialized. And I want to ask also the Honourable Member, the Chair of Health Committee, to consider there are 4 cancer centers, in the regional cancer centers in this country. One is in Garissa, one is in Mombasa, and another one in Nakuru. I can't remember the 4th one where it is. And another one is coming up in Kisii, I understand, that to take care of this issue of cancer patients, because a very prevalent disease now, and a killer disease in the country. Now, these regional centers, Honourable Speaker, the problem that we have is that even the counties are not able to manage these facilities, because even the patients are not coming from exactly one county. They come from all the counties within that region. So we'll ask the Committee of Health, the chair here, if they can consider taking up these facilities and take them back to the national government, takes over these facilities of the regional health cancer centers, so that they are properly run from the Ministry of Health. Counties are no longer able to run these facilities. Even the paying for the bills, or electricity bills for these facilities is a problem for the county, and also the consumables for these facilities is becoming a problem. So most of the time, these facilities are not functioning. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Mutunga.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I have been looking at cancer causes in this country, and I think the report needs to be very, very comprehensive, so that we can be able to know which are the carcinogenic substances that we are dealing with. Honourable Speaker, in agriculture, there are many suspected carcinogenic substances, and some of them are agrochemicals, others are wind killers, of course agrochemicals in most cases, and then there is something called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is highly suspected to cause cancer. And instead of chemicals, what is happening in Meru could be as a result of feeding on grains that are already affected by aflatoxin. And those toxicants could be the ones that are leading.
You're not sure the kind of pesticides you use on the miraa And the other cash crops?
We do not use any pesticides on Mira, Honorable Speaker. I think where the one that has been suspected is any chemical that has got a compound called, a component called, it is called, it's not a phosphate, which is supposed to be carcinogenic, in other words. So that particular chemical needs to be checked. There has been a lot of literature floating around. Some of it is not true, is not authentic, is not reliable, cannot be referenced. But there is some literature that we can rely on. So we need a thorough study on this so that we know whether glyphosates are actually causing cancer as may be suspected, as well as aflatoxin.
Because, Dr.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And then,
Honorable Speaker, you know the members are just talking of cancer, but there are various types of cancers. So, and the epidemiological prevalence per area also varies, because you'll find that maybe a cancer that is common in Kisii might not be common in Northeastern. So I think it will be important for members, just the way Honorable Makali Mulu has suggested, that we finance the National Cancer Institute so that it is able to assist us to do a proper survey of the cancers within the various areas and what could be the possible causes of those cancers. Because what we are just expressing is almost just is a general talk, not necessarily having an action that can be able to help us as a country. Even as we talk of, even when you look at the cancer registry, the Nairobi registry, which is done by KEMRI, it is financed by foreigners. The Eldoret registry is also funded by the foreigners. So you look at it that as a country and as a responsible parliament, we need to take charge of our country and of our health and see how best we can be able to finance the institutions, our own institutions, so that they give us proper data and we have a way forward on how we can be able to manage. And even as we talk about regional cancer centers, some of those regional cancer centers are poorly managed because there are not enough proper trained doctors. We do not have proper consumables, and even maintenance of those facilities is a problem. So thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Professor Guyo, and then Wangwe is the last one on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's true that there are the regional cancer institutes, and it's also true that those institutes do not serve one county. For example, when the committee visited the Garissa Cancer Center, we found that it serves Kitui, Tana River, and other parts of Northeastern and parts of Meru. So it is too much, and even Somalia border, people across the border. And there are different cancer centers in the different regions and probably at different levels of completion. But the fact of the matter is that those centers cannot be served by the county. But the problem that we encountered in the health committee, because of devolution, the cancer team is supposed to be a national exercise. But your counties are sticking to this regional center and do not want to release it to the national government. We want members to help the committee. Ask your governors to release that regional. It just happens to be in your county. It doesn't serve only you. Please lobby with your governors and tell them to release that to the national government. It will be much more beneficial to the region. As Dr. Pukosa said, you don't even have manpower to run it. But if it's done from the national, you'll have enough human personnel, you'll have enough drugs, you have everything, and those things will serve the country better.
Fair enough, Professor, you've made your point.
Thank you.
Wangwe, take 1 minute only, and the Honorable, then Professor Nyikal will respond on this.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I gave a very big leeway because of the concerns Kenyans have. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would want to make a request to you, the way Honorable KJ did, that you expand the mandate of this request from the great member. Why he says, Honorable Speaker, I chair the Committee on Public Investments Committee, where National Cancer Institute reports in terms of their finances, Honorable Speaker. And when you look at the report I've submitted in this House, the dilemma NCI has, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of funding. Once we fund the NCI, the bigger research that is required, out of which we can get the issues bedeviling cancer as a whole, shall be dealt with. Honorable Speaker, in the last 3 weeks, you saw there was a sample in Samburu where NCI partnered with the SHA. Just in a snapshot of just about 10 cases were realized within a short period of about an hour, cases of cancer. Meaning, Honorable Speaker, let's expand this request, make it open so that very many actors can make their input and we come up with an informed way on how to deal with the menace of cancer. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You're the last one. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member of the Health Committee, I want to also add my voice, maybe ask Honorable Kimei, that what we are talking about here is a national crisis, and we are not challenging your ruling on two weeks. But if it is to be done in a way that will also give a picture of how funding can be given to this exercise, we need more time as a health committee so that we can look all the parameters which are involved. Thank you, Speaker.
Fair enough, the chair will always ask for more time based on, the MP for Mosop, 1 second, 1 minute. And Macau, 1 minute also, quickly. Mosop.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in support of Ms. Kemei about the issue of cancer. In my constituency, yesterday we buried a young boy who suffered from cancer. 3 people from one family have cancer. There is another person we are supposed to bury next week who died because of cancer. This has become a big menace. Almost 28,000 people die of cancer every year in this country. My request is for the ministry to actually do just do the screening, because what kills people is they discover that somebody is sick in the 4th stage or 3rd stage and there is nothing you can do. But if you are able to get it in 1st stage or stage 1, you will be able to cure or to use the medicine for that person to survive. Otherwise, it is a menace. It is the 3rd largest cause of death in this country, and Ministry of Health has to do something about it.
Macau, 1 minute, please, so that we can...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this. Mr. Speaker, I join the thoughts of the Honorable Kimei. You join the long list of members of parliament in this House who have raised concerns of the increasing cancer existing in this country. Mr. Speaker, when you listen to members of parliament here, they are concerned because, as we are told, we don't know the causes of this cancer. But, Mr. Speaker, even if you go to agriculture, the inputs that we are using, we know some of the pesticides, insecticides that are finding their way to Kenya, we even have traces of DDT, which was banned many years ago. Mr. Speaker, again, for example, I come from Lower Eastern. When you look at the way Earth River, Tana, the way they are polluted, you need not ask where the cancer is coming from. However, Mr. Speaker, how I wish to convince you that sitting from the seat you are on, you invoke Standing Order 42A, that's 6B, read together in 25A, that we summon CSs of Agriculture, Environment, and Health to be here. Mr. Speaker, we have a lot of money in this country that can be allocated to cancer treatment, cancer research, because when you go to every district hospital, every level 4, 3, 2, level 5 in this country, you will find serious cancer patients from infants to old people. Mr. Speaker, I invite this House to visit any of the cancer wards in this country. And when we come back here, we will declare and force the executive to call for a national disaster matters cancer. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we leave it like this, then we'll not be doing justice to this country, and our generations will be wiped out by this animal called cancer. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Professor Nyikal. Professor Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Give a serious undertaking.
And thank you for actually giving the space for members to comment. And cancer is a serious problem. And as I was saying, and that's what I anticipated, that this is something if you have to discuss and address seriously, we'll need more time. In fact, apart from the 3 weeks I was talking about, we probably will now think of a month, because members have covered areas like causes of cancer, radiation, asbestos, pesticide, agricultural chemicals, aflatoxin that we have actually dealt with before, prevention. So it is a whole area. So, Mr. Speaker, my request would be, we take a little more time, get county-specific data, which the questioner asked for.
How much more time do you need?
I think we'll need at least a month.
Okay, fair enough.
At least 1 month.
It's so directed. But
Thank you,
make
Mr.
sure
Speaker.
that order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This is the chair asks for a month. The chair is not just an ordinary chair. Order, Honorable Rafael Wanjala. Order. Let me finish my communication. The chair is not just an ordinary chair. He's a professor of medicine who has taught many people, including members of my own family. So when he says he needs more time to come with something good enough for Kenyans to be satisfied with, then the chair has a responsibility to give that leeway. So it's so granted that you take a month. Yes, what's your problem, Rafael?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to agree with the Chair for Health. Mr. Speaker, asbestos were banned in the year 2006 in this country. Honorable Speaker, the department that are supposed to implement have deliberately refused to implement. 2013, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member for Ajir brought a petition, even to my committee. On several occasions, Honorable Speaker, we have called the Principal Secretary to come before our...
Order, Rafael Wanjala. Thank you very much for that very powerful concern. But I don't know if you're in the House or you're outside the House. But that asbestos was given a serious leeway. And it's part of that whole totality of it that Honorable Nyikal is going to come and report to this House. All the sentiments that were expressed in here. Honorable members, we want to make some progress. Can I? Order, please. Rafael, order. Yes, what is it? What is it? Yeah, the lamentations you're making has already been addressed. Proceed and tell me if you have anything. Don't repeat to yourself what was already.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not repeating myself.
Proceed.
But what I'm saying is to give this matter a lot of weight, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Cancer now is bigger than even HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
And the government officers are not seeing this, Honorable Speaker. Yes. Even when they are summoned to our committees, they don't want to come. Today, we have issued summons to the Principal Secretary for Environment. And, Honorable Speaker, I want to beg this House that now, if he doesn't come, I will bring sanctions to this House so that this Principal Secretary for Environment is sanctioned, Honorable Speaker. That's all that I wanted to say.
Very well taken. I'll promise you the chair will fully cooperate on that.
Thank you.
Fully cooperate on that.
Thank you.
Honorable members, I want to recognize the presence here today. Honorable Nyikal, I hope you get the gist of this thing. It's not just purely medical. You have to coordinate with the environment. You have to coordinate with the Ministry of Agriculture on pesticides and other carcinogenics. You bring us a comprehensive report. Thank you. Now, I want to recognize the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of Moody Awori School, Funyula. Busia. That I want to believe that is the county of the Honorable Oundo and the Honorable Raphael Wanjala also. I also want to recognize the presence in the public gallery of Kimong Upper Education from Mosop in Nandi, and Moi University Primary School from Keses in Uasin Gishu. And I will for a moment, allow Raphael Wanjala before Oundo to say a word of encouragement to the young boys and girls out there and tell them when they should come and run for your seat.
Honorable Speaker, first of all, I want to appreciate the teachers and the students who have traveled all the way to Nairobi to this house, Honorable Speaker. Busia is the farthest county in this country, Honorable Speaker, and it must have taken them more than 12 hours to arrive in Nairobi. So I want to thank them and thank God for enabling them to reach here and enable them to go back. It is good they have come to see actually what we do. Honorable Speaker, these students who have come to see us, I want to tell them that I came to this house when I was only 30 years old, and I've stayed here till today. I want to ask them that now that they have seen what happens here, I want them to aspire so that when some of us retire, they take over from us. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Oundo, except you do not tell them when to prepare themselves.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to take this single opportunity to welcome the learners and the teachers from Moody Awori Comprehensive School, Funyula constituency. You as Honorable Speaker, you remember you served here probably with the Uncle Moody. And the school was started by the benevolence of the family Uncle Moody when he did a walk all the way from Eldoret through Busia to Funyula constituency to raise funds from the litany of friends he has to raise to start the school. Honorable Speaker, as we stand, as I speak today, could one of the biggest schools in terms of enrollment in Western Kenya, a primary day school of about over 2,000 learners at the moment. Honorable Speaker, luckily, they have always been the best among the top in the entire Busia County in all primary school examinations. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we, through NGCDF, we have supported them in developments to ensure we provide a conducive environment. For the learners who have come here, you have had a robust debate about cancer. I just wish most of you will proceed to become doctors, oncologists, so that we resolve these menace in this country. I also wish you work hard to become good economic managers so that you can solve the economic challenges of this country. And as you go home, probably as you go out, I'll take the minority whip. Many of you have TVs in your homes, and like what you asserted yesterday. Thank you, travel well, we'll see you outside there.
MP from Mosop to give a word of encouragement to students from Mosop and Keses. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to welcome our kids from Kimong Upper. I am so happy to see them here. I didn't expect them to be here, but I am so happy. I didn't get a chance myself when I was at their age to actually attend proceeding like this. But I want to tell these young kids, it's one of the best schools in the Mosop, in the whole of Mosop. And I want to challenge them to make sure that as they watch the proceedings, one day, one time, they will be in this house, and I believe it will be possible. Otherwise, I want to say thank you for the parents, thank you for the teachers, and thank you for everything. Asante, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, you know that I will be the president in 2032. I leave the men to fight over now. That is their problem. But in 2032, I'm the president. And because I am going to be the president, you must state correct things about me. Honorable Oundo has just said, the minority whip, said that the people from Oundo's constituency cannot afford TV or watch TV. And I'm the minority whip, and I did not say such a thing. So can he please correct and say that Honorable Millie has said that the people in Oundo's constituency have TVs and can watch TV? Yeah.
Fair enough. The chair does note your sentiments and agrees with you. Now, honorable members, I think we need to make progress. And I'll now call on the Deputy Majority Leader to make a statement. I mean, I'll break with the tradition and allow him so that he can go and do some other businesses.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you very much. Speaker, this is the statement by the leader of the majority party. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 11th August 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week, and the business coming before the House in the next week. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. A, second reading of the following bills: the Equalization Fund Appropriations Bill 2026 and the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2023. I think the Honorable attendee is here for that today, and we need to quickly pass this bill so that it goes for appropriations and signed by the President. So those that come from areas that benefit from equalization can actually get their money. And I think the County Assembly Services Bill is ready. I think the lady from Nyamira is ready. The lady from Kissing. B, the Committee of the Whole House on the Equalization Fund Appropriations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2026, if not concluded today. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions should they not be concluded today. Third, report on the implementation status of reports on petitions and House resolutions, but I think the Honorable is here, the chairman is here, ready to present that report. Seventh, report on the audited financial statements of the various funds. Ninth, report on the audited financial statements for various state corporations. Fifth, report on the implementation status of the reports on petitions and House resolutions. Consideration of sessional paper number 5 of 2026 on the National Energy Policy. And 6, consideration of sessional paper number 4 of 2026 on the National Petroleum Policy. Honorable Speaker, it is expected that the House will also consider the following priority items in the course of the week. 1, the Competition Amendment Bill 2026, the East African Development Bank Amendment Bill 2026, Senate amendments to the National Council, Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill 2023, and 4, nominees for appointment as members of the Public Service Commission, PSC, and B, chairperson of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that two Cabinet Secretaries are scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 19th August 2026, to respond on members' questions. They are Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, question number 18, 2026, by the member for Kilgore East, Honorable Julius Sunkuli, MP, regarding inordinate delay in the construction of the Indolisho branch of the Kenya Utalii College. 2, question number 1019, 2026, by the member for Kilifi South, the Honorable Ken Chonga, regarding the circumstances and reasons that led to officers from the Kenya Utalii College being denied access to the Ronald Gala Utalii College on the 24th of July, 2026. And 3, question number 20 of 2026, by the member for Kajiado South, the Honorable Samuel Parashina, MP, regarding the cause of death of 16 elephants in the Amboseli ecosystems between 24th June and 31st July 2026. Cabinet Secretary for Education, question number 015-2026, by the member for Bahati, the Honorable Irene Njoki, MP, regarding measures being taken by the Ministry to review and harmonize school reporting times in public learning institutions. 2, question number 016-2026, by the member for Matayos, the Honorable Geoffrey Odanga, MP, regarding the shortage of head teachers and deputy head teachers across the country. And 3, question number 01-2026, by the member for Yatta, the Honorable Robert Basil, MP, regarding the fate of serving interns whose contracts are due to expire in December 2026. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 18th August 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this paper on the table of the House, and as I do that, I want to request the Honorable Oundo to understand that what I said is that he has not been able to ensure there is electricity in his constituency, and because of that, there are no TVs. So let the people of Funyula ask their member of parliament. So I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and having done that, I lay this paper. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Bai is being ridiculous and mischievous. Is the government he currently serves seen that has refused to roll out development projects and now is trying to hide behind other members of parliament to hide the failure of this regime? No Kenya is going to be hoodwinked. Kenyans are not going to be cheated, and Nakiboko ni ile is going to be a tough one. I think should go on record. Their failure cannot be transferred to anybody else. Thank you.
The provision of electricity is a national government function, not a member of parliament. So that's taken. We have two more questions sought. Honorable Ikiara. Ikiara, please be very brief.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the harmonization and strengthening of maternity leave entitlements for female employees in the country. Honorable Speaker, Article 41 of the Constitution guarantees every worker the right to fair labor practices and reasonable working conditions, while Article 53 provides that the best interests of the child are of paramount importance in every matter concerning the child. This Constitution guarantees and underscores the need for policies and laws that adequately protect mothers and children during the critical period following childbirth. Section 29 of the Employment Act 2007 provides female employees with 3 months maternity leave with full pay. The statutory entitlement falls below the minimum period of 14 weeks provided for under the International Law Organization Maternity Protection Convention 2000. Honorable Speaker, the duration and conditions of maternity leave have a direct bearing on the health and well-being of both mothers and children. Adequate maternity leave is critical to enabling mothers recover from childbirth, initiate and sustain breastfeeding, provide essential early child care, and establish healthy mother-child bonds. The World Health Organization and UNICEF recommend exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of the infant's life. The disparity in maternity leave also presents a broader question to different periods of leave depending on their sector or employment arrangements. There is therefore a need to consider whether the existing framework adequately promotes equitable maternity protection. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. 1, measures being considered to address disparity in maternity leave entitlement for employees and in public and private sector. And number 2, consultations being undertaken with the Public Service Commission, employers and employees, organizations, and other relevant stakeholders towards the harmonization and strengthening of maternity protection for employees. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I need labor. Who is the chair for labor out? Where is the chair for labor? Who is a member? When you seek a statement, it's self-explanatory. I'll give you one minute, and we don't want to take all the time on this. Yes? Yes. Mazamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa kina mama ambao wanajifungua watoto, hata ukiangalia katika sheria yetu ya dini, mama anashurutishwa kuweza kumnyonyesha mtoto mpaka miaka 2. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika sheria ya kimataifa, wanawake wengine wamepewa ni miezi 6. Siku 120, Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini hapa unapata wengine wamepewa 120, wengine wamepewa siku 90, kwa hiyo inakingana sana. Mimi ningependa kusema kama mama Mombasa County, mtoto kupata huduma bora baada ya kuzaliwa, mama apewe kulingana siku ya kumnyonyesha kulingana na sheria ambayo imewekwa kimataifa, aweze kukaa na yeye nyumbani, aweze kumjua ili wakati akimwacha akirudi kazini atakuwa amemtengezea mazingira mazuri ambayo mwingine aweza kumwangalilia nyumbani. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank Honorable Dorothy for bringing that statement. Mr. Speaker, it's very important, as the statement suggests, that children stay with their mothers for a long period, especially for breastfeeding. It's only, I think, yesterday or the day before that we were dealing with the breastfeeding bill by Honorable Sabina Chege. And Mr. Speaker, I'd want to, when the question is taken by the committee, if they can just find out, if the committee could let us know how many agencies are falling below the statutory provision and what action can be taken. But above that, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that sometimes people challenge us and say that it is not possible. I know people might even challenge and say that some of us are members of parliament, that's why we are able to. But all the people who work under me who are women, when they go on maternity leave, I don't give them any less than 6 months. Sometimes I give a year. Because we must also practice what we preach. And for me, and it's not only in my house, even when I've worked, even as a director of Credo, that was the condition. And we gave sometimes up to a year. And it has to be a cost to you as employer, because if you also want your children to be taken good care of. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Donya, I thought you were going to take the undertaking on behalf of the committee. Well, you should say the point yourself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. You know, other countries, they give workers maternity leave allowance. They are given money for bringing forth a human being on this world. But we are not asking this country to give women the allowance. We are asking they get the correct time to rest with their babies, to breastfeed, to bond, to do some activities with the baby. And above all, there is nothing bad like having any disparity in leave days, Mr. Speaker. As a member of Labour Committee, we will commit ourselves to give the feedback in 2 weeks, and we will consider this to the latter, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The last one, Dawood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I agree with Honorable Modoni's request. Mr. Speaker, the committee should even look at paternity leave so that it aligns with the maternity as well, so that it is structured. Thank you.
Okay, Donya, how long order? You want, how long do you need to come with it's a comprehensive thing, it's harmonization. It means you have to go through the broad spectrum of the employers in the country, government, private sector, public sector, everywhere, for you to be able to come up with a comprehensive report and say, this is how the practice is now, and this is how we intend to seek harmonization, whether through what do you call an amendment to the labor laws or whatever it is. So give yourself enough time. Don't say 2 weeks and then you end up coming back and saying we need more time.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, if you had not mentioned about the complexity of the matter, I could have even told you this one, if women sit down, we'll give you a response in 2 days, Mr. Speaker, because we know what we are going through. We are practical. This is not theory. We know what women go through. So when I say it is 2 weeks, it stands to be 2 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a serious matter.
When you look at the question, it's not your emotional aspect here. The question says harmonization. Don't ya?
Truth of the matter,
Order.
one-
Order. I don't think you understand how this question was put, or the statement sought. Harmonization, which means you first of all study exactly what are the current state, private sector, public sector, different private sectors, how much time they give. And then you come together with that, you collect that report, you collect it, and then you say, we intend to harmonize by saying 6 months, or 1 year, or 2 months, or 2 weeks. It's up to you. So don't underestimate. Don't underestimate the complexity of the matter itself, because you're answering a statement sought. You are not answering your heart. Thank you. Okay. Well, yeah. Yes. Proceed, my dear lady from the Ma area, from Samburu, if I'm not wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance also to contribute on the issue of the breastfeeding and the leave allowance for the mothers. Mr. Speaker, this is really a very serious matter that needs to be given a lot of attention, because during delivery, mothers really go through a lot of difficulty. It's not all deliveries that are easy. And even bonding with the children, they need a lot of time. Mothers need to recover, they need to take time to heal, they need even to get their bodies come back to be able to work well. So they need to be given enough time as being proposed by the member who has just read the statement. So this serious issue needs to be discussed in depth, not only by the women, but by even all the employers in this country. They need to look at the legislation, and this must be clearly put into our legislation such that if an employee employs a woman or a lady, and it happens that a lady gets pregnant, they need to be taken care of when she's pregnant. They need to be given enough time during delivery. Enough time, we are proposing 6 months and beyond, so that they can get time to heal and to be able to regain the energy to be able to come back and deliver and give back to their work. Secondly, even the institutions, after the women have given birth, Mr. Speaker, our institutions need to consider these breastfeeding women, because sometimes some come to work even carrying their children. And if even getting a place to sit and breastfeed their children is a problem. So we need all the institutions, including even Parliament, to have a special place, set a special place for breastfeeding of our children, so that those ladies who deliver can even continue breastfeeding their children after the expiry of their maternity leave period, so that we can take care of the children well and take care of our mothers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Fair enough. I'll give you an opportunity. Just relax. We have certain traditions even within the wider spectrum of our own community. For example, 1 or 2 communities I know, the wives are supposed to breastfeed for at least 2 years or 3 years. The Ma community, am I right? And in that time, women are not even allowed to consummate love with their husbands. Am I right? That goes also for the Borans. It used to go for the Somalis in the olden days. I don't know whether it's still there. So when you need to do something, you do psychosocial, all this private sector, public sector. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to put my thoughts into this, because I represent a rather different constituency, where most of my constituents, mostly women, are single women and are independently employed. There are people who are working in the markets, people who are employed themselves. So let it not be lost to us that, like a few days ago, the president said, once a person gets pregnant, from there on, they start getting paid. So I think, yeah, that is what he said from the State House. That is what he said.
Order.
That is what he said, and I think it is also be advantageous to us if these women who work in this market also get some stipend during that leave so that they can be able to survive for the maternity leave also, so that they can, there's no woman who is more woman than the other. So they also deserve this stipend as they are breastfeeding their children for a period of maybe those 6 months. I think this is something that should be looked at generally. We should not subject only those women who are.
You've made your point very well. No, I do understand. The chair understands what he said. You are talking about maternity leave for people who are order, people who are in gainful employments. How about the ones who are self-employed? How about the ones who are casuals? You see what I mean? What he's actually doing is that he's saying, look, all women are not in employment. There are women who do not have employment, but who still need to bond with their children. Now, how do you go about it? You're right. I think you have a very strong point on this. Millie, you should weigh in on this. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've actually brought a bill which I think the Health Committee has deemed that it might not be necessary to bring, which is called the Family Reproductive Healthcare Bill. And the Family Reproductive Healthcare Bill looks at the entire spectrum, and it looks at all women in whole. But we must realize that what the honorable member is saying is actually true, that there's a challenge because of the economic situation of the country, that there are women, like I talked about, even women who work for me, whether as house helps or otherwise, but they work for me. They are not self-employed. So the challenge is, what about that woman who is self-employed?
Absolutely.
Who earns 2,000 maybe or 3,000 per month? How do they survive? The only thing that I'm not too sure he got right, that the president said that all women who are pregnant will be paid by the president.
I'm not too sure about that too.
I'm not too sure because Mr. Speaker will get pregnant tomorrow. I also want that money. But I don't think the president said
I haven't had that, but then nonetheless, don't invoke the president's name. You are not a minister. You know what I mean? You are the only people who can invoke the president's or other government policy are the people who are in the government. Anyway, proceed. Yeah, Donya, give us now, based on the complexities of what you have had, the House is trying to help you. How much time do you need?
Mr. Speaker, as much as you want to help Donya, I also want to help the workers to get the information adequately.
How much time do you need? How much time?
Because this is not rocket science, Mr. Speaker. We already have it in the Employment Act. Just allow me to be firm with my 2 weeks. There is nothing. I'm the one who has been asked, Honorable Millie, and we will work on it. I insist we will do the report in 2 weeks. So
okay.
you dare as it is okay. Then after.
It's so directed that you should have this report in 2 weeks' time, and which of course, order. But who is the chair? The chair sees the order. It's so directed. It's so directed. So you hit the ground running from this afternoon and get your act together. Okay, Honorable Lidoraso. No, MP for Saku on lands.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the reversion of land previously acquired by KBC in Kiltakorma location, Saku constituency. Honorable Speaker, in 1995, the local community in Saku constituency surrendered a parcel of community land situated in Kiltakorma location, which was then held in trust by the former Marsabit County Council to the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation through compulsory acquisition. The acquisition was undertaken in the public interest to facilitate the establishment of a KBC earth-ground station intended to enhance and expand FM radio broadcasting services from the northern region of Kenya. Speaker, technological advancement in the broadcasting sector have, over time, rendered the earth-ground station obsolete. Consequently, the facility has been abandoned and is no longer operational, while the land in which it is situated has remained idle and unutilized for several years. The public purpose for which the land was acquired has therefore effectively ceased to exist. The continued retention of the land by the KBC, notwithstanding its prolonged non-utilization, has deprived the community of an opportunity to benefit from this valuable public resource through its reallocation to priority socio-economic development initiative. Such initiative may include the establishment of public institutions, social amenities, and other community projects capable of direct measures being taken by the Ministry of Land, Public Work, Housing, and Urban Development in consultation with the KBC and the relevant governmental agencies to facilitate
And Honorable Speaker, allow me to request that the House benefits from myself as the chairperson of PIC. Where I sit, Honorable Speaker, while he will be doing the report, let him also include if that property has ever been attached, Honorable Speaker, in terms of it having been used by KBC to secure any loan, Honorable Speaker.
KBC.
By the agency that is also crippling the core function of the broadcaster. But even more importantly, the treasury, the presidency, and even this parliament are taking the steps of modernizing KBC, but it will take for us to first take stock of all the assets that they have. Even the affordable housing projects, Mr. Speaker, are also coming into some of the lands that KBC is not utilizing. So with the modernization of KBC, the rationalization of their staff, and the working on legacy problems at KBC, some of these land issues shall be sorted for good. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, let's go to the next thing, which is the responses that were sought. Yeah, for agriculture, I am to understand that the lady who asked this is not around. So the response or the statement or the response itself will be made available to her and the House at a later date. The same also happens to be the case with, is Honorable Machua Waidaka MP, is Honorable Machua Waidaka MP around in the House? No. No, he's not around, so you better wait until.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Condition, all the schools that have been connected to electricity by REREC in Isiolo County. Question 2, Honorable Speaker, the response is as follows. The government through REREC continues to implement the Solar for Schools and Solar for Schools maintenance program to provide reliable electricity to public learning institutions located in areas where grid connectivity is unavailable or require system enhancement. Honorable Speaker, to increase power connectivity in Isiolo, the government has come up with off-grid initiatives such as COSAP in Isiolo County, where REREC and KPLC are already implementing solar mini-grids and standalone PV system to control around 800 beneficiaries at a cost of 456 million shillings. These initiatives aim to improve electricity access and promote renewable energy solutions in Isiolo County. KPLC is installing a standalone PV system in public facility, and REREC is installing 5 mini-grid systems as indicated on table 1 below, which will be completed by September 2026. Honorable Speaker, the table 1 indicates the COSAP mini-grid and standalone solar in Isiolo County, which are 12. Honorable Speaker, these interventions are intended to improve the reliability of electricity supply in schools and support implementation of competence-based education through enhanced access to digital learning infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, question number 3, the response is as follows. The Ministry of Energy and Petroleum through REREC continues to identify and plan electrification projects for public learning institutions across the country, subject to the availability of budget allocations. Currently, 17 public schools and secondary schools in Isiolo County have been identified and are included in cooperation planning database for future electrification. Honorable Speaker, implementation of the remaining identified schools electrification project will be undertaken progressively based on the availability of funds under future government budgetary allocation. The new schools that are identified in Isiolo County from time to time will be considered alongside other public facilities subject to availability of budgets. Honorable Speaker, in addition, over time, the number of new public schools being established kept on increasing throughout the country. Hence, cooperation has continued to lobby for a dedicated budget line for electrification of public institutions, including secondary schools and primary schools, TVETs, community water projects, among others. Honorable Speaker, I beg to respond.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the Ministry for the response, but I must say I am disappointed as the responses given didn't address my concerns and also didn't speak to the specific questions that I asked in my statement. Speaker, in my statement, I did provide list of schools that are yet to be connected to electricity. And alongside that, I asked specific questions. My first question was the status report of electricity connection to public primary and secondary schools. In their response, the ministry didn't actually talk about the secondary schools. They only focused on primary schools, and my statement had both public and primary school. Secondly, in their response where they listed primary schools that have been connected, which is 112, I want to say, Speaker, as we speak now, if you look at the 112 primary schools listed as connected against the 58 schools that I listed as not connected, then the report you are giving is misleading. So I want to ask the ministry, why are they misleading this house? Because most of the schools they've listed in those 112 schools as connected are yet to be connected. Further, Speaker, I asked about short-term measures that the ministry had put in place to provide alternative energy sources for schools that are still unconnected. And I ask this because of the CBE, competency-based education that requires digital, part of the learning that must happen is on digital learning, where energy is required as a source. So there was no response to that question, the alternative measures in place. And finally, on plans and budgetary allocation in place by the ministry to ensure the schools are connected, the only response they give, which they did casually, is to say it will be done on availability of funds in future. No plans, no budgetary allocation, nothing. And finally, Speaker, where they've listed mini-grids to be done in 7 areas, I think, they've not shown the plan to have schools connected after that. So those are my concerns, and I think nothing in that response has addressed the issues I raised in my statement. I thank you.
Yes, Oundo, what's the issue? Go ahead, Oundo.
Speaker, the other side are getting so jittery whenever I'm given a mic. I don't know why. Honorable Speaker, let me thank the chair of the Committee of Energy for being a forthright and hardworking member of Parliament and chair. And sometimes I sympathize with him, and I sympathize with many of the chairs that they come to the point. So, Honorable Speaker, the point raised by my colleague here is about connectivity to public institutions. It is unacceptable that this area of CBE, you find primary schools, you find even secondary schools, you find even technical training institutes are not connected to mains electricity. As a country, as a parliament, I want to urge Chair, if at any time you go again to do the supplementary budget or any budget, please drop everything else. Make sure all public primary schools or public secondary schools or technical training institutes have got mains power electricity connected. In my constituency, Honorable Speaker, as I stand here today, and I'll move a substantive question, I have 5 primary schools built by NGCDF during my term that have got no power. I have a youth polytechnic that was built by NGCDF before it was passed over to the national, to the county government.
Order, you have made your point. You made your point. Once you say that you made your point. Now, don't engage in a debate on your constituency when indeed what we're discussing is Momina's constituency. Now, Chair. Yes. Do you wish to?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wish to say something about this. You know, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable colleague Mumina was specific about schools. She didn't ask about settlement, new areas, and all that. If we say education is single equalizer, and have the schools in a county does not have access to electricity, it means they are not on computers. They are not on social media. They are not on the new gadgets that learners will have access to education. So for that reason, Honorable Speaker, when a colleague raises such a question, I think the answer should never be pedestrian. The department must take stock of what are the issues. How can they rope in? How can they support that particular region? And I think the issue of marginalization is clear in this case. the children in Isiolo cannot perform well in national
Fair enough.
education.
You've made your point, Honorable Dedidoraso. Chair, the Honorable Momina asked specific institutions. Madam Bonaya, you have gone to areas that she did not seek. Can you go back and not say that when funds are available, but give a definitive undertaking that you will seriously look into this and see how those institutions can also be provided by, is it called mini grids? What do you call them, mini grids? Mini off-grid or mini solar grids? They don't cost so much. But you see, for somebody who comes from where you come from, where electricity is normal.
Available throughout, yes.
Yes. And
Honourable
somebody,
Speaker,
somebody coming from Momina's constituency and my constituency, where electricity, children have not seen electricity for more than half of the constituency all their lives. You need to be so sensitive to the extent of giving definitive undertaking on how you intend to tackle that problem. And if you don't think you have that one right now, ask for the chair to allow you to go back and come back with a more comprehensive answer.
I thank you, Honourable Chair, Speaker. Exactly that is what I wanted to say. And it's unfortunate. If she actually, because I never saw this, when she gave her statement, by the time, if she did ask specific for 50, was it 58 or 54? Yes, and they are not listed here.
No.
Then, and second, Honourable Speaker, is also important because we had shared this before I was given an opportunity for me to be able to
Fair
respond.
enough, Chair. Well, how much more time do you need to come back with a specific undertaking on how?
Yes, within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks.
Speaker, but at the same
you're
time,
happy with 2 weeks? It's so granted. I think 2 weeks is, in my opinion, sufficient. So it's directed that you come back with this answer in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, Raso, I think we have exhausted that very well. You're lucky that the chair comes from an area similar to yours and is prosecuting the matter for you, not just yourselves. So,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg your indulgence for Honorable Mumina to sit with the chairman, so that there are those
no, the chair has
areas-
already given that indication that he's willing to sit down with Madam Mumina, and he regrets the fact that the schools that she listed are not covered in here. Am I right, Chair? So you're going to sit with Madam Mumina and go through this, go back to your principles in this case, and come back with a specific undertaking, time-bound, on when those children, in the soonest possible, will have electricity, like the rest of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable
I mean, I'm sure you're satisfied with that. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Next order.
Order number 10.
Equalization Fund. Huh? There was, yes, you're right. Yes, the Honorable MP for Mpakasi, what?
Starehe here.
Starehe.
City Center. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a personal statement regarding the withdrawal of my bodyguard. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2E, I rise to make a personal statement regarding the withdrawal and transfer of my personal bodyguard, Constable George Mwirege Muturi, P number 201-506-2670, from my official security detail. Honorable Speaker, Constable George Mwirege Muturi had been assigned to me in the course of my official duties as a member of Parliament. However, recently he was recalled from my security detail and redesignated back to his former duty station in Keio North Sub-County, thereby ceasing to serve as part of my designated security detail. Honorable Speaker, I'm particularly concerned that the recall and transfer of the officer was effected on the 8th of July 2026 during the heated campaigns of the Olkalau constituency by-election. This was done without prior consultation or communication to me on the reasons for the action, and without a replacement being assigned to my security detail. I wish to place on record that the withdrawal of a security officer assigned to a member of parliament is a matter that ought to be handled with due regard to the security requirements and official responsibilities of the member concerned. The absence of my designated personal security officer has implications for my safety and may adversely affect my ability to discharge my constitutional and parliamentary responsibilities effectively, particularly in the course of undertaking official duties and engaging with the constituents and members of the public. I therefore seek the directions of the Honorable Speaker on the matter, and in particular request that the appropriate authority inquire into the circumstances leading to the transfer of Constable George Mwiregi Muturi, establish the reasons for his removal from my personal security detail, and clarify measures being taken to ensure that my personal security is reinstated. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Personal statements do not have any debate. It's just that. But just for the curiosity of the House, you now don't have a security. You don't have at all.
Don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any.
How many were you allocated in the first place?
I had one.
And that one is withdrawn?
Has been withdrawn during the Olkalau by-elections. I don't know, for reasons best known to them. Anyway. But neither, I'm in DCP, I'm in one term, nevertheless.
Order, Zimayo, order. You know, when the chair gets sensitive and is worried about your own security, don't politic. You see what I mean? You cannot have a point of order, you cannot have any debate, you cannot raise anything. It was just for the curiosity of the chair. This chair was order. Next order.
Order number 10, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2026, second reading.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to prosecute this matter in the order paper. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2026 be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, this is a very, very short bill, which should take this House about 5 minutes and we are done, and then we proceed to the Committee of the Whole. Honorable Speaker, the House, having approved the allocations to Equalization Fund with the budget estimates, it is now the turn of the House again to give the government powers and authority to withdraw the required funds for implementation of the programs that are outlined in the bill. Honorable Speaker, the bill proposes Kenya proposes to appropriate 10.25 billion for the 26-27 financial year, representing 0.5% of the audited national revenue for 2022-2023, which was 2,050 billion.1, as mandated by the Article 204 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this allocation is consistent with the Division of Revenue Act 2026 and the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates, which were approved by this House in June. Honorable Speaker, the fund is established under Article 204, sub 2, to progressively uplift marginalized areas to the level of development enjoyed by the rest of the country, under the provision of basic services, water, roads, health facilities, and electricity, and under Articles 204, sub 4, and Article 216, sub 4, the Commission on Revenue Allocation is mandated to identify marginal areas and publish criteria for such identification. Honorable Speaker, just to inform members that this is the formula which we are applying in this bill is a new formula which was developed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Honorable Speaker, for members who come from Northeastern and who may be in the House, we have been having difficulties, convincing members that this is the new formula should obtain. And the reason being, Honorable Speaker, that this new policy, we call it the second marginalization policy, has identified about 1,424 marginalized sub-locations across 34 counties and in 107 constituencies using a deprivation index constructed from indicators of access to safe water, sanitation, electricity, and school attendance. This index forms the basis for sharing funds from the Equalization Fund. Honorable Speaker, most members have argued that the intention of the Equalization Fund was not to distribute these resources to sub-locations, but indeed this fund was supposed to actually be used to put in place infrastructure in most cases, the northeastern parts of the country. Actually, from my understanding, and because I was also alive when the Constitution was being drafted, my opinion was that this fund was supposed to serve to uplift those areas in northeastern. But it has come to a situation where, Honorable Speaker, even in regions like Central Province, Nyanza, you find that there are areas that have been classified as marginalized. And this is some of the issues we are having with the members from certain areas who think that this formula should not obtain. Honorable Speaker, the total allocation of 10.25 billion, 307.52 million is reserved for secretariat recurrent expenses, being not more than 3% of the total allocation as provided under the PFM Act. The balance of 9.94 billion is allocated for development expenditure based on the deprivation index. Honorable Speaker, the development allocation of 9.94 billion is distributed based on the allocation factor assigned to each marginal area under the second marginalization policy. The bulk of the funds are directed towards arid and semi-arid areas, with Turkana receiving the largest share of 1.13 billion, followed by West Pokot with 1.01 billion. Other counties receiving substantial allocations include Narok at 765.71 million, Mandera 747.59 million, Wajir 724.53 million, Samburu 644.7 million, Garissa 624.04 million, Baringo 590.43 million, Kilifi 535.73 million, and Marsabit 466.01 million. Honorable Speaker, this pattern indicates that the majority of marginal areas are situated within these 9 counties. Honorable Speaker, the committee has noted several concerns. First, the identification of 1,424 marginal areas has resulted in excessive fragmentation, with some counties receiving as low as 6 million, giving rise to numerous micro-projects that may not achieve the fund's constitutional objectives. Honorable Speaker, can you imagine a county has been allocated 5-point-something million, and that 5.9 million is supposed to help in bridging the marginalization gap? I think this is what we are saying, Honorable Speaker, that this really doesn't make sense. And if we really want to uplift these regions, then we must have another formula which is going to really, allocate proper resources for the changes, for the areas to be, marginalization to be addressed. Honorable Speaker, secondly, the committee knows that CRA is currently developing the third marginalization policy. However, the first and second policies adopted entirely different methodologies for identifying marginalized areas and allocating resources, leading to frequent changes in beneficiary areas and fluctuating funding levels. This inconsistency has made it difficult to assess the fund's long-term impact and has created uncertainty in project planning and implementation. Honorable Speaker, the House, we must urge CRA to develop a consistent and predictable framework for the third policy, ensuring continuity and enabling meaningful evaluations of whether the fund is meeting its constitutional objective of improving the quality of life in marginal areas. Honorable Speaker, concerns persist regarding the potential duplication of projects under the Equalization Fund appropriations. with those implemented by county governments in the 34 beneficiary counties. To maximize impact and ensure efficient utilization of resources, closer coordination between the Equalization Fund Advisory Board, implementing agencies, and county governments is essential so that projects complement rather than overlap. Honorable Speaker, this is a concern that some of the projects that we have captured here are also being implemented by the various counties where they are situated. And this is getting overlap. So we need to find a way in which this advisory board, fund board, will work closely with the counties to ensure that there's no overlap. Honorable Speaker, notwithstanding the challenges, the committee recommends that the bill is passed without amendments. This is because the total sum of 10.25 billion set out in the bill is consistent with the allocation made to Equalization Fund under the both Division of Revenue Act 2026 and the budget estimates for the year 2026-2027 approved by this House in June. Honorable Speaker, as I said, the bill is very short. If you have a copy of the bill, you will see the allocations captured per county, with per constituency and per sub-locations. So, Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to move and ask my able Vice Chairman, the Honorable Dr. Pukose, to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Chair. I beg to second the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2026. Honorable Speaker, as the Chair put it, this is almost like a procedural motion because in the Division of Revenue Act, we already passed this bill and it was debated. Honorable Speaker, when you see in the Division of Revenue, the amount that was allocated in the equalization was 10.25 billion. And this is to 34 constituencies, to 34 counties, 107 constituencies, and 1,424 sub-locations. In the second formula that we are now applying, it is giving money at the unit of operation at the sub-locational level. And this money is not deposited at the county. There is a special account at the central bank that this money is deposited, and then the sub-locations form committees. Then these committees identify the projects in roads, in electricity, in schools, and water, where they can be able to allocate that amount of money so that projects can be advertised at the county level where you have all the offices being represented of the CEC Finance, Office of the County Commissioner, and then Office of the Funds Manager is also a member to that. And you'll find that with the second formula that was applied by CRA, they went and looked at several factors within this area in terms of electricity, in terms of roads, in terms of poverty, in terms of water, and this is how they came up with that second formula. I know that this might look, the amount of money might look small, but when you look at counties like West Pokot with many sub-locations, they are getting quite a huge amount of money. You look at TRT is getting almost 400 million. And when you compare this amount of money with even what we get in CDF, this is money enough that can make a really serious change within those areas. The only challenge is when you find counties trying to play some tricks by naming or doubling, or let's say once a project has been identified, the county wants to add even some money, which might not even go into implementation of that project. I think that's where our problem is. And the Honorable Speaker, our committee has, we've been able to get some of those complaints, especially from people who are implementing Equalization Fund, and we are in the plan to have a retreat with the CEO Equalization Fund together with the board and the National Treasury, so that we can be able to raise these issues that are affecting members, so that this can be addressed and make sure that the equalization fund is operationalized and does what it was meant to. So far, equalization fund has received only, this is the third disbursement. The first was 2021, then another disbursement 2023, and then now this 2026. So with those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to second.
I now propose a question that the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2026 be now read a second time. Second. Yes, what's your point of order, Honorable Kore?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a very important bill, and it has got a lot of interest for members from Northeastern and Northern Kenya in general. And we have not internalized, we have not discussed this at length. And Honorable Speaker, I would want to ask whether even we have the quorum to discuss this bill at this stage, this important motion.
So you raised the quorum question. Okay. Where is the check? Eh? Just check. Order, order. Check if you have quorum. We don't have quorum, eh? Ring the quorum bell. Where are the whips? Whips, go and look for your own members.
This is pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 35. And the members of the National Assembly were about to begin debate on the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, a bill originating from the National Assembly, Bill number 39 of 2026. This is a bill that is supposed to undergo through second reading, that is debate, and then also move on to the next stage, that is consideration of it at the Committee of the Whole House stage. However, at the point when the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, Honorable Samatandi, was about to move this particular bill, a member rose on a point of order indicating that the House lacks quorum during the proceeding, and that this particular business should be given much, or should be considered at a time when the House is well curated for it to be able, or for members to be able to weigh in on their opinions regarding the contents of this particular bill. This is a bill, or basically a legislative instrument that authorizes the release and expenditure of constitutional allocations from the Equalization Fund. Remember, the Budget and Appropriations Committee recently adopted its report. It's a bill that had undergone through public participation, and the committee adopted its report, and this afternoon the bill was coming up for first reading, or for second reading, that is debate. This is a bill that authorizes the release of 10.25 billion Kenya shillings out of the Equalization Fund for this financial year, that is the 2026-2027, monies that have been ring-fenced and to be released to counties or areas that have been categorized as marginalized. And strictly ring-fencing these monies is basically to be able to provide for basic services in identified marginalized areas, to be able to bring them to quality levels that are being enjoyed by the rest of the nation. And the funds are earmarked specifically for water supply infrastructure, also have been earmarked for road network improvement, health facilities and equipment, as well as rural electrification, water supply infrastructure, road network improvement, health facilities and equipment, as well as rural electrification. This is to ensure that these services reach the marginalized areas to the extent that is necessary to bring the quality of those services in those areas to the level generally being enjoyed by the rest of the nation. So this particular bill proposes a legal framework for the issuance of the monies out of the Equalization Fund to the county governments in which these marginalized areas fall for the provision of these crucial basic services. Remember, it is not to all counties, however, to various counties where these areas that are termed as marginalized, or where these services are deemed fit to be able to reach and enable the areas to be able to get these essential services, same as other areas of the country or other parts of the country shall get. Some of the counties include areas in West Pokot, that is Kacheliba, Kapenguria, Pokot South, Sigor. In Wajir, there is Eldas, Tarbaj, Wajir East, Wajir North, Wajir South, Wajir West. There is also the county of Tana River, the areas that have been earmarked include Bura, Galole, Garseni. Taita Taveta also shall be receiving monies in the areas of Taveta and Voi. Siaya County, there is Bondo, Gem, Rarieda. Turkana County, there is Loima. Turkana Central, Turkana East, Turkana North, South, and West. Tharaka Nithi, there is the areas of Mara and Tharaka. Remember, the monies for services including water, roads, health facilities, and electricity. Muranga County, the monies have been allocated to Gatanga, areas in Gatanga. Nakuru County, there is an area that has also received these monies, that is Rongai. Nandi, there is Nandi Hills, Tinderet. Narok, there is Emuru, Adikir, Kilgoris, Narok East, Narok North, Narok South, Narok West, and also Samburu County, where there is Samburu, that is the parts of east of Samburu, north of Samburu, and west of Samburu. The House is about to continue with its proceedings. There was a quorum hitch during the proceedings of the House. And the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell, of course, be rung, of course, to inform members of the National Assembly that their presence is highly required inside the chamber for the House to be able to continue with the consideration of the business that had been, rather has been set out to be considered during this afternoon sitting. And before the point of order, members also considered various statements and also responses to statements. Some of the statements that were earlier requested include the burden of cancer in the country and measures to enhance treatment and access to cancer care.
Members, order. Order, honorable members. Order. Wangwe, order. Take the nearest seat. Murugara. Take the... Rosa Buyu. Take a seat. Take a seat, Daoud, and yours. Order. Order, take a seat. Honorable members, the time being 17:35 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 18th of August, 2026, at 2:30 p.m.